Welcome to Mitchell Elf Rocks and Minerals Center 1. This year-long unit is Earth and Sky, and so we're starting with rocks and minerals because that's what our Earth is made of. So as you know from past units, we have our outline taped to the top for ease of review. You'll also be able to find that on the PTA website, mitchellpta.org. If you go to Programs and Events, over to ELF, and ELF you go down to Rocks and Minerals, you'll have the outline, the background information, puppet show, and snacks. So we're going to dive into Center 1. Center 1 is all about identifying or just taking a peek at minerals. Center 1 and Center 2 are very, very similar. Center 1 you might want to use for kindergarten, first, maybe second grade, and then maybe you want to do the testing of the units, testing of the minerals in Center 2 for the older grades because they have a lot of repetition and a lot of the same material, and that's just a little more technical. So anyway, so we start with the outline and we're talking about the minerals and classifying them. I always like to start with the paper materials and books. We haven't picked up our books yet because we've loaned them from the library, so they will be in here, but this kind of talks about how a scientist identifies minerals, and it talks about the different characteristics that we'll go into in a little bit more detail in a minute. So those are good things to start with. Some parents have put in some nice supplemental materials too that talk about the crystal shape, the scale of hardness, which we also have this box that talks about hardness. I didn't even open it. Okay, so we have a piece of glass in there so that they can test it, but this shows how hard and soft rocks are, and it's hard to imagine a rock is soft, but when you find one that's on the 1 for the scale and compare it to a 10, well, we don't have a diamond, but you can compare it to a 9, you can see how hard rocks are versus soft. This little outline gives much more information about exactly what characteristics we look for. Color, luster, hardness, streak, crystals, cleavage, which is how it breaks off, fracture, also how it breaks off, and then other ideas that will help us identify rocks if we're kind of running into between a rock and a hard place. Oh. Okay, then there's some other materials in here. So that is all in this little envelope, and that is just kind of the paper stuff to start with. After you've had that conversation with your students, then you can go into testing the minerals. So we have 3 collections, so you can break the kids into pairs, and there's 7 minerals in here. The minerals all have these little numbers on the back, and we have a key in the outline, and that one doesn't have one. So there's one. So this helps us to identify them as parents and volunteers that are not geologists. So you can take a look at all the rocks, and we have a lot more information, like I said, in the outline, and then we have these testing kits, so each child can be their own little scientist. And the outline explains which tool is used for what thing, but we have tile, and they can streak on there and see if it leaves a streak. If it does, then it's a certain kind of streaking. We also have hand lenses in here. All of these materials are on loan from School of Mines Geology Museum, so please get them back where they belong and with the utmost respect. So these are little hand lenses, and they really show some detail. Maybe once you've looked through all those minerals, there we go. Okay, well maybe once you've looked through all these materials, you'll want to go this way, but you certainly can do it in whatever order you want. That's what we love about ELF. You can cater it to your group, you can cater it to your class, but we have these minerals from China. Oh, aren't they pretty? Don't take them out of the box, they're glued to this paper, but the kids can definitely look at those with their lenses. They're so pretty. And then we have more. These are from Colorado. So these have identifying little strips in there so you can see what kind of minerals they actually are. So basically this is an introduction to minerals, and we're going to kind of, again, talk about the characteristics of minerals. Of course, minerals make up all the things on Earth and get into rocks, and we're going to talk extensively about that in some other centers. So when you put this unit back together, this bin, just please make sure everything's where it should be. Put the kits in here, hand lenses in their box, minerals in their specific boxes, and let us know if we're running low on anything or if there's anything damaged, and you can email us at mitchellelf@gmail.com. Ta-da, Center 1.